Hi again, welcome to the garage. I'm Pierre. So part two, those screws that need to be used later for sealing purposes. Just before we go to the screws, I'd like to thank my friend John Creasey from Australia. He sent me those stickers for his channel group, which is YouTube Machinist Group. So if you want to go and pay a visit to John, I think he'll be more than happy to see you guys and have you say hello. So John Creasey, thank you. I'll be giving the extras to my friend Philip and Robert. So first option I had, and I tried with the screws to try to form a seal under the heads, was this polyurethane adhesive. So that revealed to be unsatisfactory because the adhesive was not impervious to solvents and oils and whatever was going to be in contact with the screws. So the seal was starting to destroy itself after a while, and just unstick from under the head and just destroy itself. So that was eliminated. Second option I had was to use some leather here with the appropriate punches. I would just leather punches, normal leather punches, make some little donuts, and stick everything under the screw with CA glue, cyanoacrylate glue, and this ended up being a very decent option because the fibrous matter in the leather was resisting the solvents and the oils and everything. So option number 3, because sometimes you work and you keep on thinking about what you're going to do. Those little caps here, this is food grade HDPE, type 2 on the recycling scale. I used the blue one first. The blue one wasn't thick enough. I wasn't giving it a satisfactory seal. It was just like would kind of auto destroy itself. But the black one is the one from soft drink bottle and revealed to be a good candidate. So let's go see how I managed to end up with a few good screws with a good seal underneath that will serve the purpose for future use. There we go. Referencing. This is good. Moving this. And screw heads there, and even if they're not perfectly aligned with the top side, it doesn't matter. I'll be referencing on the bottom there. Okay, this needs to go 235 deep. I lean the let me show you this very quickly. The drill bit is leaning there, just on the top surface of this, and I'm gonna make a quick adjustment here. Gauge blocks 235, and there we go. This is going to go 235 thousandths more in the depth. Now ready to make the hole. Second hole. Easy. It's coming out. Back drilling a little bit because this could pack up in there a little bit. So easy. Okay, some next step on this. I got the screws in the holes there, but if I want to make the hole in the bottom there, I'll have to inverse this. Sometimes when I got only 1 or 2 parts to reference and go back in its spot, I will be using the stud device and the chuck. I'll take a note what the position is on the DRO, and I'll be very fast to reference again. Normally I would use this little device here, which I had for my previous vise, but now in the the curved vise with the snap jaws, it doesn't protrude high enough to be able to use it and clamp it there. So I gotta find another way. There are holes there with 5/16 and it's 5/16 18 threads. I made myself a little piece of strapping there, put a little screw, and I'm using adjustable parallel to
get the right distance from the part to the reference. And I know this is a good parallel because it's a starret. I know that most Americans get tears in their eyes when they hear the word starret, or some when you get. So I guess I think I can understand a little bit too, but maybe not as far as some people would do. Okay, that's it. Let's make some holes. So making the vertical holes on this. A little bit of a lubrication. Coming down in the same axis as the screw. A little bit of peg drilling. Make sure that the chips don't jam in the hole because the drill is kind of tight in there. And when I get the transversal hole connection, I feel it. It just seems like it lets go. Next one. One done. Removing the screws and starting over again. Rinse and repeat. I got some friends that say that. The clean ones in California. Rinse and repeat. I don't get high on clean up here though. Okay, the screws are now done. The hole in the end there is done. And the side hole, pretty well centered. It just barely touches the head and reaches the middle. No overshoot. That seems pretty good. I got about 40 of those to make. That was worth making the little jig, I think. So I don't have to measure and set up every time. The only thing now I have to find and look out for is some material that I can make some kind of a seal. This seems like a plasticky something, or I'll have to look into something to make those seals, because these have to seal for the final result I need.
There's been some trials and not so successful, ways of doing the gaskets under the heads of the screws. But the final one here, this is a letter punch. Punching a little roundel. I got two to make the roundel there. This will have to go in the screws. So by myself, a little very simple jig. There you go. Put this in there. If I had millions to do, I would be very different. But centering this, because the hole in there is a little bit bigger, so centering method should be pretty nice. There you go. This is pretty even. This is one little gasket ready to go under the head of a screw. Now, one thing I do about the head of a screw like this here is clean up as well as I can by scratching the surface under this head. These are brass screws. I'm just making sure that the next step will get the best adherence possible on this. This is almost done. Hope you see good, because I got big fingers and it's hard to share my sight with the cameras and everything, but that should be good. Next step, trying to put this on top. I'm screwing this. The best way is to turn, because the hole in the middle of the little donut is smaller a little bit. There you go. Partially installed. This is Loctite Instant Adhesive. This is the gel type. It's pretty thick. It will stick leather and more porous stuff, and it takes a long time to set, which I appreciate in this case. Little dab of this. Going to be using a drill, spreading it out as evenly as possible under the head. There you go. I think you could see pretty good. Gonna try to screw this as far as I can, like this way, because I want to since the leather roundel is a little bit smaller, I want it to go along the stem as high as possible without interfering in the threads of the screw. So this is going to be pushed. as far as I can. Okay, once I start mingling with the leather, the gel will start fixing, or setting a little bit faster, just like it does when it gets in contact with your fingers. It's still malleable, so I'm going to be screwing this on top of my little jig there. This was meant to use for something else. I mean, the other method, I was going to use the polyurethane, but that doesn't stick as well as I would have liked. So if you screw it too hard, you end up with two pieces. Not nice. This is accelerator. One drop, they will get absorbed all around. It'll take maybe 5 seconds or less. It's set, and then I got one screw ready. There you go. This is going to make a very good seal where it's going to be used. I just have to clean up a little bit the entry hole on this side. Okay, the leather capsules method seems to be working pretty good. I thought of something else. Maybe that could be doing it. I've tried with some number 2 recycling, probably HDPE or HDPE, high density polyethylene or something like that. That's number 2 recycling. I tried with this, a little bit too thin of plastics to do the job. I'm trying with this one here. These are all food grade plastics. I'll make a roundel of it. Need to be punched a little harder. Yeah, they got a bit more of a problem to get them out. Let's try this. I don't want to cut my hands on the punch. This is it. Center hole. This one. Ah, missed it. This is good. This is pretty well centered. I'll get myself a screw, put it around, see how it goes. Now I've cleaned the under the head as well as I could. I'm going to be installing this roundel by screwing it on there. Sorry about this. I got a pretty bad cold for a few days, so not very comfortable. Okay, this is sitting as far as it can. Now, next step. The jig's gonna heat it up. Torch. I want to bring the heat of this to just where I feel the cap melting. Not there yet. Almost. This is melting. This is where I want to be. Before we do this, we're going to have to add a little bit of a beeswax on the surface there. Since this is kind of hot, I've had it once. The screw will be sent in there. And when this is going to touch, see the plastic is going to be starting to ooze around the on the screw. It won't stick on the aluminum part because it's got some wax there that will stop it from sticking. Even there, it doesn't stick very hard on the top surface. Something else I want to do here is clean up the excess. This cleans up pretty good. Oops. Get out of there. And I'll heat up the top of the screw. Because I want the plastic to really stick to the head, or at least form at the surface of the head underneath. And it's like watching paint cool. Not very interesting. Give it some time, and I'll be back when it cools down. This had pretty much a time to well cool down, and the part is not hot anymore. So let's unscrew this screw. That will come out with its own seal. And we get to see underneath. Get the tweezers are gonna go better for you to see something. It shapes pretty nice. The surface there that's polished gives it shape to the screw. On the bottom of the head, not exactly very stuck, because this material won't really stick so heavily to other stuff. But the fact that it's pretty rigid, thick enough to stay there, it will keep the seal functional on what it's going to be applied to. One good job done. This is an option. Seems like a good option. The leather seal, which is here, seems to be doing a pretty good job too. So whatever comes up, I'll be able to replace those screws as needed, or repair the seals, or do something about it. Okay, quick recap. Original one, the one done with the leather part, and the one with the HDPE. So these three will perform the function pretty well. And if I need some more, then I know the recipe to make some more. These are the ones with the polyurethane. I'm not very satisfied with the adherence on this, and if I add some coolants or other products, like it will eventually come off pretty easily. Here you go. This is not what I call good adherence on this. It's coming out, and it doesn't really stick where it needs to be scratched every square micron from the top of the head. So I eliminate this one. Not hot, but warm. I'll just hold this with the little pliers, tweezers, and the fucking thing didn't do what I wanted it to do. And let's see the result. Fuck. The whole thing stayed on. What the hell? Okay, that's fun.